Welcome everybody to today's masterclass. I'm honored today to have with us my brother from Canada, John Tsai. My brother John, I'm going to give a proper bio for him, but this gentleman right here is a mover and a shaker, such a global leader, and excited to have him on this call. My brother John has not just built an incredible career in real estate, but also has a reputation as a phenomenal leader. One who even personally has inspired me. I've seen him on multiple stages and really just rip the cover off the ball and create something super successful here at eXp Realty and beyond. His vision has expanded way beyond Canada, guys, way beyond Canada. He has such global influence. He's the former or the first president of eXp Canada, and literally blew up that country here at eXp. So today we're going to take a deep dive, guys, into this leadership conversation. We're going to talk about team building, scaling. My brother John has a phenomenal presentation that he's going to do. And for those of you that are tuning live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube, I encourage you guys, stay active, get on the edge of your seat, take diligent notes, write questions down in the comment box. And at the end of this call, here at the top of the hour, we're going to fire away some questions. So then that way we can get deep in the weeds with my brother, John. Okay. So without further ado, let me give a quick bio on my brother. My brother was born in Taiwan and raised in Vancouver. He is a top producing leader in real estate. He's a mentor, speaker. He runs the Align Group, a powerhouse team under eXp with over 280 million in annual sales. John's journey to success wasn't conventional. Before real estate, he worked in retail, selling jeans and learning the art of sales, persistence, and customer service. In 2006, after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he was inspired to pursue a career in real estate, which has ignited his passion and business for financial freedom. As I had mentioned, he's the former first president of eXp Canada, and he has played a significant role in the company's national expansion, global expansion. And today he's dedicated putting his clients first, helping buyers find their dream homes, and maximizing return for sellers. So without further ado, let me bring my brother John up to the stage. John, come on up, brother.
What's going on, guys? Joseph, thank you so much for this opportunity, and what an amazing introduction. That was one of the best, if not the best introduction I've ever had, so thank you for that. Got a lot to step into and into that promise, so thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. Yeah, if you ever need a hype, man, take me with you on the road, bro. We'll
Yes.
we'll rock it out together, man. We'll blow up IG. By the way, man, your Instagram stuff is phenomenal. I mean, just side note, aside from leadership, love what you're doing in the space, just to be able to create tentacles out there in the social atmospheres. I'm out here in New Mexico, man. I'm at my home in New Mexico. You know, I'm originally from California. But I'm like, John is scheduled. I got to be on this call. I'm not handing this off to nobody. So super excited to have you in the community, bro.
Thank you, brother. And, today's my intention is to be able to share my journey, and through that, hope to inspire and, give some actionable steps where agents can take to their business today and actually say, hey, you know what, from this call, I actually got this. And I understood that through his journey, I could take it and do it for myself as well. So that's my intention.
Oh, 100%, bro. I love you epitomize like that John Maxwell quote about a leader who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So thank you
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Thank you for taking the stage. I'm going to hand it off to you. I know you got a presentation for us.
Yes, I do.
We're really excited.
Awesome. So let's see if this works. If you can, as an image, file, share screen. Okay. Let's see. Tell me if you see my screen.
Here we go.
Okay. Do you see my browser though?
Not see your browser. We only see your screen with it looks like a video.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we don't need to do the video. So this is here. You know what? Let's just play it. Game start. So, usually if you're at home, while I'm on stage, I get the crowd to just dance. And you're going to get a good laugh out of it. Right? Me realizing I've been a real estate agent for 19 years just to end up dancing on social media for views. And
Too good.
that's enough of that. Okay.
Too good.
All right. So we go to the next. So if you get nothing from this presentation, guys, you just got to know that you need to have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. We take our profession very, very seriously. However, if you're not having fun, why do it? Right? And from that video, you know that I'm someone who will do whatever it takes to get business. I'll dance. I will run. I will jump. Right? I will do anything. Right? I would do whatever it takes to get business, but at the end of the day, you gotta have fun, guys. Right? And my share today is my journey from being a solo agent, and going all the way to, a global leader. Essentially, going from just in Canada here in Vancouver to many, many countries, which was made possible by the platform of EXP. And within this presentation, you're going to see how you're going to convert more appointments, how we're going to build freedom and crush the rest of 2025. So this is my journey here, guys. 2006, 2 deals in my first 6 months, earning $2,500. I don't know if anybody had a worse first 6 months than me, right? And it was so long ago, my picture is pixelated and it's black and white, right? 2007, Joseph, I was a likable guy, right? And all my high school friends they're buying their first home, and they reached out to me. I was one of the first ones to get into real estate. So I made $104,000, bought a car for $89,000, and spent the rest of my money buying my girlfriend gifts like Gucci bags, little, jewelry, watches, and all that kind of stuff. Like what a typical young agent would do when they get a lot of money in front of them, right? But I didn't even get paid yet, and I spent the money in events. And what happened in 2008, guys? No deals for 6 months, and I became $80,000 worth of debt, right? $60,000 in debt in May 2008. And at that time, I was like, you know what? Why don't I just go and get engaged? Right? I was like, what am I doing? But I really wanted to get married. So I went out and got another loan for $20,000. And then I proposed to my girlfriend, now still my wife, thank goodness. And we got married in 2010. But at that time, $80,000 worth of debt, and I couldn't make a sale for 6 months. And that time, Joseph, I joined Mike Ferry. And Mike Ferry taught me a few things very clearly, how to prospect, how to follow up, how to go on appointments, and how to make a sale, how to go and take a lot of listings. But even then, with this coaching program, I couldn't make a deal for 6 months. But I decided then that I couldn't quit. And for a lot of you guys, I know, 449,000 agents quit last year in the US, and only 29% of all agents did a deal. And you might be thinking, maybe I should quit. And I was thinking about that in 2008. The whole world was upside down. But I decided then that, Joseph, I was going to become a beast. I was never going to give up. See, I have a degree in psychology, which allowed me to earn $35,000 as a social worker if I just worked in that field. There's nothing wrong with that, but I would never be able to pay off my debt, the way I wanted to, and have a good life with my wife. So I decided that I was going to do whatever it takes to get out of this rut that I was in. So for the next 10 years, Joseph, working 7 days a week, 12 to 14-hour days. And as you know, when you do that, you're going to get a little burnt out, right? But what happened during those 10 years? I hit 149 homes sold as a solo agent. This was in 2006. Thank you for our 100th sale. That was August of 2016, right? 10 years into the business. 2017, 137 homes sold with a team of 3. You might be thinking, oh, how come you're selling less homes and you have more people? more people means more overhead, right? So I was actually making less money and selling less homes, but with more people. In 2018, I sold 99 homes with a team of 4. You're thinking, okay, what's going on here? More people selling less homes. What's going on? Right? I was completely burnt out, Joseph. And I was like, man, I need a change. I wasn't seeing my parents. I wasn't seeing my wife. I wasn't seeing any friends. And any friend that wanted to do business with me, I would go out with them. And if they didn't, I didn't want to go out with anybody. Like, so I was really, it was all surface relationships. I was like, okay, I need a change. And what that change looked like was, okay, I need more income, and not just active selling income, because that's all I did was the next listing. You eat what you kill, and you can never stop. When you stop, your income stops. So I said I was going to build a brokerage, and the brokerage would look like, they would give me 3 things very clearly. Build some equity if you were to sell your brokerage, your franchise. 15, 20 years down the road, you could retire off of that. And then number 2 is if you recruit agents, help them sell more real estate, you're going to be able to create a residual income from that as well. And the brokerage I was going to purchase, a franchise, they were going to give us KV Core, now Bold Trail, for $1,200 a month, and I could create more leads for my agents, and they would convert, and I would make another income that way. I was like, wow, this is great. How much is this all going to cost me? And they said $500,000 to buy a franchise, to get it all set up, bricks and mortar, everything like that. I was like, you know what? I don't have any money, but I'm willing to get 3 partners, $125,000 each. Let's go for it. But before that, EXP came along and they said, we're going to give you those 3 things exactly, but we're going to only have you pay a startup fee of $199. Equity, revenue share, and KV Core. I was like, no way. This has got to be a scam or something, right? But then I started getting on calls for these Model Explain calls, and then I talked to Brent Gove, I talked to Steve Merritt, I talked to Christian Bear, talked to Gene Frederick, and I talked to Raw Flick, all separately. And they all told me that, John, if you were to come over to EXP and you try it for about 3 months, 6 months, what would happen if you didn't succeed in revenue share, equity, and KV Core? I said, well, I guess I'm still a real estate agent. I'm still John Tsai, selling 100 homes a year. Nothing changes. He's like, exactly. And you can always go back to Remax. You can always go back to Rennie, where you're from. My last interview with an EXP agent, Joe. Can I call you Joe? Or I can't hear anybody. Oh, am I still on?
Yeah, you're still here, brother.
Okay.
You're still here.
You.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I pulled myself off the stage, man. But no, you can call me Joe. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Joe. So I interviewed Cliff Freeman. Stay on with me. I
Okay,
interviewed Cliff Freeman, right? And he said to me, yeah, if you were to not succeed in all these things, like, who are you? I said, John Tsai, selling 100 homes. And then I asked Cliff, if how much are you earning right now on a residual basis, on a monthly basis? He said $55,000 US. Joe, $55,000. I was like, man, like, that could literally change my life. I mean, that would completely set us free. And I said, you know what? Because Joe, as you know, the EXP platform works. You just need to believe in yourself to work it. And
100%.
yeah, and so I was like, I need to think about this. So I hung up the phone. Whereas I hung up the phone, my wife heard the whole conversation. She tapped me on the shoulder and she looked at me wide-eyed and she went, you better get involved with EXP now. And like a smart husband, guys. Happy wife, happy life. I had enough fear from my wife that I did what I had to do, which is sign the contract with EXP and Joe, I never looked back. This is what it looked like. You know, look at the big smiles there. I was that was January 7th, 2019, 7 days into my journey with EXP. I got to sit down with Mr. Glenn Sanford himself. November 2018, the picture on the left here, I went and visited Brent Gove before I joined EXP. That's my partner, Denise Mai, and you know, Brent said, John, we're going to change your life. John, we're going to help you sell more real estate, and we're going to help you create more residual income so you can have freedom, options, and choices. Do what you want in the business, well, not what you have to in the business. So I started with this small team here, and today, you know, after switching to EXP Realty in 2019, I got the honor of serving as the first president of EXP Realty Canada for 2023. And now I'm back in production 2024, six-time icon agent. And I just hit my seventh. Hopefully get my little trophy soon.
Let's go.
And thank you. And, you know, now we have a team of 60 agents. Last year, we were able to achieve $280 million in sales volume and 312 transactions. And I have a global organization of 1,345 right now. Last year, 2023, or the year before now, right? Our team did 224 transactions for $260 million in volume. And the market went down another 40% in 2024, and yet we were up 88 transactions and another 20 million in sales volume. So I say this to say that if you're listening to this right now, guys, there's the market, which is going down, but there's your market, which you have control over 100%, because the market does not determine your production. The market, however, does determine what you need to do differently in order to get to your production goals. So we made adjustments. So we worked a little bit harder. So what? And I say this to say, guys, anything is possible. You got to think to yourself, greatness is possible for me, and there's the market, and there's my market. You choose to work in whichever market you want to. So I hope this is my journey here, Joe. I hope that helps inspire already. But I'm going to get into the 5 ways we're going to crush 2025. So a little bit of a story here, Joe. This is when I was working as president of EXP Realty Canada. I come home, and here's my oldest, Zoe. She draws herself in the family portrait. She draws her baby sister. She even drew her mom, and she even drew the family dog. Guess who's not in the picture right now? Daddy. I was so hurt, Joe. I was like, man, I need to make some adjustments. But rest assured, I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for my family. This is my why. I not only have to work hard, and I have to work smart, because if I want everything in my life to have balance, I need it to be 100% in everything. I need to be 100% in my work. And once I'm 100% done with my work, I'm 100% done. I'm 100% with my family. And this is what happens when you go 150% with work and you go 0% or 50% with your family, which is you don't show up in the family portrait, right? So here are the 5 keys to crush 2025. Convert more appointments, build freedom, and scale your business. Number 1, guys, you need to master your mindset. That's all there is to it, guys. If you don't work on your mindset, if your mind is in the gutter, everything that you do that day will go to the gutter. So you need to get your vibration up. You need to get your energy up. Once you have your vibration up, your energy up, you can do anything. Anything is possible when you have good energy. Because who wants to work with people who have low energy? Guys, low energy equals low money. High energy equals high amounts of money that you can earn for yourself and your family. So I do the savers every single day. If you haven't read the book Miracle Morning, read it. Absolute game changer of a book for me and my families. Number 1, I wake up. Now I wake up at around 5:30. I used to wake up at 4:30, Joe, and I would sit in silence for about 20 minutes. And I make sure I clear my mind out of all the thoughts. Get it out of my head. Get it out of my head, because the thoughts will come and go. Right? Your first thought that comes into your head, you can never change, or you can never, really control that thought. However, the second thought that comes in, you have control over that. But you don't get to do that unless you sit in silence for 20 minutes each and every day. I start with silence every single day. And once you get that silence, you can start to program your mind with affirmations. Every single day I tell myself, today is the greatest day of my life. Today, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Today, I'm grateful for all the money I have. Today, I'm going to be a beast, right? So you start to program your mind through positive affirmations and incantations. And next is you go into your visualizations. Now, visualization is really tricky. You see through your mind's eye what you want to achieve. But if you are only seeing through your mind's eye what you want to achieve, they're merely pictures of what you see in your head. It's called daydreaming. If you want to go from daydreaming to visualization, the key element there is the feeling of having what you want. The feeling of having what you want is the key to attract what you want. So get out of that feeling, come out of that visualization and feel the feelings of having everything that you want, and then let it go. And next, I go into exercise, hour and a half every single day. I don't care. Get some sweat going, get the endorphins, right? And then read 10 pages of a book. Right now, I'm reading this is my third time reading How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. I'm reading 10 pages of a book. And then last but not least is scribing, getting all your thoughts out of your head, right? Good or bad, put it down on paper. Once you put it down on paper, you would not believe how good you will feel, right? Every single day, I write in my journal, right? It could be a whole page. It could be 2-3 pages. And sometimes it's just a few lines, and that's okay. If you just do the savers, I promise you, it will change your life. Next is detachment, guys. Visualize your outcome. Feel the feelings of having what you want and take massive action and let it go. Detachment, guys. What you resist persists, and what you accept transforms. So visualize your outcome. Feel the feelings of having it. Now, I want you to let go. But detach, not so much from that vision that you want to hold so strongly about what you want to achieve, but detach yourself from the attachment of having it. The anxiety, the doubt, and the fear that you have about not achieving your goals, that's what you need to detach from. And next is get massive accountability. You see, the only way to create lasting change is by creating accountability for yourself. And I would say that if you're holding someone accountable, you're getting held accountable too. It's the highest form of love that you can show someone is holding them accountable, right? Holding them accountable strongly, firmly, intensely, with love and compassion. Did you know you're 95% more likely to achieve your goals if you just have a regular accountability check-in with your partner? And if I told you went out there and you invested some money and you have a 95% chance of making money, I mean, would you do it? This right here, this key element right here will increase your likelihood of achieving your goals by 95%. So guys, please listen to this. And actually right now, if you're listening to this, check in with your buddy and let's do some accountability, whatever it may take. I want to do it, right? And next, treat this game, whether or not you're with EXP, right? That you're doing agent attraction, you do some recruiting, and you're selling homes. Guys, today, no matter where the market is, market's good, market's bad. For our market, Joe, it has been bad for 3 years, but it's simply a numbers game. You need to know the numbers in order to play the game. So either it's market stats, you need to know where they are at, how many months supply, right? And how many of homes have sold in the last little while, or it's your own numbers. So for myself, guys, if you can look at, I know in 2015, I talked to 100 people, I get one listing. And one listing, guys, equals one paycheck. And if I wanted to do 100 deals that year in 2016, the year after, I said to myself, I need to talk to 10,000 people because one listing equals one paycheck and 100 contacts gets me one listing. So as you can see, Joe, that I talked to 10,887 people in 2016. I did not take 100 listings, guys. I took 93 listings. And at the end of the year, I closed 111 deals and 38 of them pending to the next year. And I earned a clean $1 million my first time. It was in 2016. I just simply did the work. And if you work 200 days out of that year, that's 50 contacts per day. I knew my numbers cold. And I just said, I'm just going to go play the numbers game while I build relationships with my people that I have. I still have to play the numbers game. Don't treat people like numbers. Go deep with people. But you need to treat your business like a numbers game, which it is. If you want to earn $1 million, here's how you do it. You just talk to people and you'll make money. It's A plus B equals C. Talk to people, go on appointments, make money. Talk to people, go on appointments, make money. And as you can see, it's like the 4-minute mile. Once I earned over $1 million, I never looked back. I never earned less than $1 million since 2016. If you're a newer agent right now, you might want to take a screenshot of this. 8 dials to 1 contact when you're prospecting. 12 contacts to 1 lead. 5 leads to 1 appointment. 2 appointments to 1 contract. And 2 contracts to 1 transaction. Joe, which is a total amount of contacts, 240 contacts to 1 transaction. Are you willing to get slapped around 239 times to get 1 yes? For me, in our market, I can earn $20,000 getting slapped around 239 times. I'm willing to get slapped around. Guys, I've been eating shit for 20 years and liking the taste of it. I still like the taste of it. Slap me around all you want. Guys, if you're not willing to get rejected, this is not the business for you. High rejection, high reward. If you're not getting rejected at a high level every single day, you're not working hard enough. So if you want to do 30 deals, which in our company is an icon agent, 240 contacts times 30, which is 7,200 contacts divided by 200 working days out of that year, which is 36 contacts per day. That's all there is to it. If you talk to 36 people, I don't care who you talk to. Go to the gas station, hand out a business card, go door knocking. I don't care who you talk to. You talk to 36 people per day, Monday to Friday for the whole year. You're going to do 30 deals and you're going to hit icon agent. Becoming a great leader. I really had to learn this. I don't know. I know, Leo, I don't know, Joe, if you took Landmark. I know Leo is big on Landmark. I took a 2-year Landmark course. I went to leadership courses with Tony Robbins. I've been studying John Maxwell to no end. Just eating up all his books to become a great leader. Leaders eat last. In 2023, the market dropped off like a cliff and our revenues went down. Our, deal count went down. And I was all of a sudden unprofitable. And, kid you not, Joe, in 2023, I was $150,000 in overdraft almost overnight. I didn't fire anybody. I didn't say, go home, guys. I didn't cut any costs. I just said, you know what? Put our head down. We'll make adjustments here and there. We'll get to work because leaders eat last. And if you're a leader right now, if you want to become a leader, guess what, guys? You eat last. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll eventually get everything that you want in life. I think I made a mistake here. It's not Jim Rohn's, Zig Ziglar. But you get the idea, guys. If you help enough people, if you are going through something right now, you got to go and help people to get out of your own head because you need to stop worrying, start living. How to live, guys. Tony Robbins says, the secret to living is giving. So go out there and help as many as people as possible. This quote here I got from Dylan Nonaka. A true leader is someone who goes towards the gunfire, inspires their followers to follow with trust and purpose. He was actually Navy SEAL, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he actually went towards the gunfire, guys. If you have the courage, you go out there and lead by example, and they will follow you with trust and purpose. If you want a big revenue share group, if you want to sell a lot of homes, you need to become a great leader of your clients. You need to become a great leader of your people. Success is not what you do. Success is attracted by becoming a better version of yourself. Guys, building a team and an organization is like jumping off a cliff, guys. Every single day, I'm jumping off a cliff. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm building the plane on the way down, and we're slowly flying up. But every single day, I'm jumping off the cliff. Are you willing to jump off a cliff and build on the way down? That's what leadership is. And if you're not courageous enough, maybe this is not for you. It's okay, right? But if you are courageous enough, follow me here. Leaders create leaders. Leaders don't create followers. Right? If it doesn't duplicate, it doesn't matter. How can you create leaders out of other people? Right? So this is how we talk about freedom, options, and choices. If you don't create leadership in other people, you are going to be working forever. And if you want some leverage in your business, you got to create leaders. Here's some truth bombs. Identify leaders and attract them. I actually don't believe that, you can create leaders out of people who don't want to become leaders. And that's okay. That's okay. But if you're a leader listening to this right now, don't force people to become leaders. Truly, don't force. You are wasting your energy. These are some truth bombs, and some people don't like to hear them. You need to go out there and find leaders. Now, people might not be leaders right now, but you need to identify people who have the desire to become a leader. You just never know, but you need to ask more questions of people. But don't force people, hey, you need to become a leader. It doesn't work that way. As leaders, we cannot hold people accountable to the imaginary agreements that we have with them. We simply cannot. You're disappointed as a leader because your team is not selling enough real estate. You're disappointed as a leader because your team is not attracting more people. Wait a minute, did they say they want to, or did you put that on them? Right? When I speak in front of a crowd, people are like a little bit taken aback by these thoughts, but I truly need to share this with you guys because it was important for me to really grow my own leadership. Last but not least, guys, I'm standing here in front of you guys and all the accolades that you heard about. It is not because I'm the greatest, okay? It's not because I'm skilled, not because I'm smart. Not because of anything, but this point right here. If you just persist, guys, you are going to win. It's not if you will succeed, it's a matter of when you will break through. If you'll never quit, guys, you will never fail. It's scientifically impossible for me to fail if I just never quit. Just one day at a time, one contact at a time, one contract at a time, one agent at a time. I don't care if you say no to me. I care if you say no to me and I stay in inaction. But if I keep taking actions, you're never going to beat me down. It's really hard to be someone who will never quit. So you got to ask yourself right now, if someone says no to me, am I going to quit? And I recommend that you keep going. You'll never quit because you don't want to fail. So guys, you never know when you will see someone or talk to someone or take a picture with someone for the last time. This is my mom's birthday, October 12th, 2013. Here's my dad right in the middle there. I didn't even know he was sick. And October 22nd, he went into the hospital. My mom said, your dad needs a quadruple bypass surgery. And I said, why? How is that even possible? And he never told us that he has 7 stents in his heart. You can't put the 8th stent in, so he needed a quadruple bypass surgery. And I asked the doctor, well, what's the likelihood of success for the surgery? He said 98%. I said, great. So he came out of the surgery successful. Great. Awesome. But he was delirious for about a week. And then on the 7th day, he came alive. He said, John, the Tsai family is yours. You can see my older siblings right behind my mom and dad there. I'm the youngest of 4 kids. I was like, why? I was like, you're kidding, this and that, right? And he said, the Tsai family is yours. I didn't even know what he meant. I'm like, you're kidding. So I said, I'll see you tomorrow. I actually shook his hand. I never shake my dad's hand. 3:00 in the morning, the nurse comes to me and she says, she calls me and she says, I think you better come to the hospital. I said, why? So we went down to the hospital. We waited in the waiting room and the doctor comes out 5 a.m. and he said, unfortunately. I didn't need to hear anything after that. I couldn't hear anything after that. He started explaining this whole thing and I said, you know what? My dad is gone. But he gave me, guys, the responsibility, the opportunity, and the accountability, which we talked about, of becoming the man of the family, being the youngest of 4 kids. Why me? But when you ask yourself, why me? Next time, try to ask yourself, try me. So my dad gave me the simple task of becoming accountable, of being the one for the family. So you got to think of yourself, if you are listening to this, guys, are you the one? Are you the one that's going to change your family tree? Why are you doing what you are doing today in your business? Why are you waking up every single day? I do this for my family, my mom and dad, my sibling, and here are my 2 girls. That's why I wake up every single day. That's why I give my 150 every call that I'm on. I'm hoping you're getting my energy through the screen right now. Guys, I never quit. This is 2007, working 7 days a week, 12 to 14-hour days, $48,000 a year, $80,000 in debt. I just never quit. Right? And if you never quit, you will succeed as well. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Martin Luther King says, by all means, keep moving, guys. And if you keep moving, you will always win. Now I have the life of my dreams. You know, wife and I still together. This is our 15-year anniversary. And I have enough money now to do a hair transplant. If you can't tell, you know, I think it's supernatural. What do you think? Right? And a great ending to my story here, which is I made it, guys. She drew herself. She drew her baby sister. She drew her mom. And then she finally draws her dad. Moi. I replaced the family dog and I'm okay with it, guys. So, Joe, that's my ending to a great story. If you want to connect with me, scan the QR code. I have a little coaching program where we coach agents to go from 10 deals to 50 through social media, AI, and I will coach you skills, mindset, activities, and actions to get you to the next level. I appreciate you all for listening. Let's go into Q&A. Thank you.
I love that, John. John, man, let's give a big round of applause. Let's throw some fire emojis, some love in the chat. Thank you for sharing that testimony, brother. You had my heartstrings here. Chiming away. I'd lost my mom this year.
Sorry to hear, bro.
In March, and yeah, you're right, bro. You never know when that last opportunity is going to be bestowed upon you. But us picking up that torch in self leadership and family leadership, right, is so important. And everybody on this call, everybody who sees this in the future, there will be a time, if you haven't experienced it already, where that leadership will present itself, right? And the question you have to ask yourself is, do you take that step or do you step back? And so choice. It's a choice, absolute choice. So thank you for making that choice, John, because you know, when you do take that step forward, you start to create leadership in a bunch of other areas of your life. And surely that's come into real estate. So thank you for your professionalism and the impact that you had in the industry, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, let's fire some questions away. I know I had seen one in here about there was an agent that had said she sold 12 homes last year and only 2 this year.
Mm-hmm.
And there it is. Edith S said, I'm burned out. I sold 12 homes last year, only 2 this year. Help me. So I guess the question is, what advice would you give somebody like Edith that is experiencing the shift, right, that's occurring in certain markets? And other than the numbers, because Edith, if you listen to the numbers game, I mean, there's solution A. But any other advice you would give Edith, John?
Yeah, I would take some time off. If you're burnt out, you already know that your body's telling you some signs. And don't be afraid to take the time off, because the time off will recreate yourself. You will start to recreate yourself, and you start to have creativity from that recreation. And you'll come back refreshed. And again, it's all about energy, Edith. Remember what I said about energy is when you're burnt out and you go out there, no matter how many more people you talk to from that burnt out state, you will not get business. So go and take a week off. You know what? Even if you're in debt right now, that's okay. Go and take the time off, because money will come if you do the work correctly. Right now, you're not, because you're burnt out. So, yes, the numbers game will help you, but it won't help you unless you get into the right state.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take the time off, the creativity, the inspiration will come back. Right? That's where you need to recreate yourself. So that's my first advice for you. And then we go into, okay, the numbers game. And then you have to look at nitty gritty. Where are my opportunities in my business? I'll give an example. I'll share through an example, because we can't take a deep dive on Edith, but I was helping Tsai, which he's in SoCal as well. And he was doing about 15 transactions in a year. He could never break through. And we took a deep dive on his business. I said, Jack, where are you spending 80% of your time? He said, I call expires 80% of my time. And I said, okay, how about 20% of the other time? I'm talking to my past clients and center of influence, family, and friends. I said, okay, give me your breakdown of your business. Where do 20%, where's your business coming from? He said, 20%, get this, Joe, from expireds. I was like, 80% of the time, 20% from expireds. Where is 80% of your business coming from? Past client, center of influence, family, and friends. You only spend 20% of the time with these guys. What's up with that? So why don't we do this, Jack? If you're willing to be coachable, see, coachability.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the highest and hardest skill right now to develop is the way you listen to your coaches and actually implement. That's one skill that you need to develop, is being coachable. He was coachable. He switched it around, 80% of the time talking to family and friends, and 20% of the time talking to, he didn't let it go. He still talked to expireds. But guess what happened in the next year? In 1 year, he went from 15 transactions, Edith, and he went to 36 transactions, and he made icon his first year in real estate, first year at EXP, just because we made some tweaks. So, you might need to talk to Joe about taking a deep dive. Let's look at your business, right? Or whoever your coach or your sponsor is, really look at your business and see where the opportunities are, and see what you need to cut out. Jack had to cut out talking to expireds all day long. So I hope that makes sense. So you really, first of all, raise your energy. Second of all, look into the business and see what you need to do, and then take massive action, the right action. I hope that
So
helps you.
so good, bro. So good. I agree with you. The advice you gave Edith, where I share this with so many people that I speak to about real estate, is that over the last couple years, in my opinion, we're in a market of shift, right? So you have to constantly be pivoting and shifting. If you haven't changed, if you guys still doing the same kind of business that you were doing a few years ago and your numbers have dwindled, you haven't shifted, not adequately at least. And so being in a state of readiness constantly to what's happening in the market is so important. I think it's a really great way for us to develop even self leadership, right? As this conversation's about leadership, like self leadership. Thank you for sharing the SAVERS acronym. That was fire. What are some other really strong like traits that you see some top producing agents in your organization, John, that are that have like self leadership traits? What are some of those that you see that are consistent amongst good producing agents?
It's simply taking action. The ones that take action in spite of fear, they take action in spite of not knowing what to do. They take action in spite of anything. They take inspired action in spite of the market. Because a lot of times agents get into inaction. They are simply frozen by the fear of the market. Wait a minute. If you keep taking action, you're too busy to be worried. Right? And we have all the training in the world, Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
We have 80 hours of training with EXP Realty, and I do 8 other trainings myself. But here's the thing. Are we promoting a culture of training, or are we promoting a culture of action? That's why the fast cap program is so key, because they hold you accountable to actually take the actions. right?
Mhm.
So I believe action trumps all. Action gets rid of your anxiety, action gets rid of your doubt, action gets rid of your worry. I'm too busy to be worried. You have to say that. I'm too busy to be worried. I'm talking to 50 people per day. I don't even have time to think about my worries. Hope that makes sense.
Oh, bro, yeah, so good. Yeah, fast cap is fire. One thing that you touched on, and I want to commend you for, John, is you were a little vulnerable and shared some transparency about even how you shifted, right? And it had me thinking about identity. I've been having a lot of conversations with like independent broker owners, team leaders, different companies, and one thing I notice is that so many people get stuck in what they think their identity is, especially as it relates to social media. Like, hey, I'm a team leader. I'm not a producing agent, and they're not open, right, to stepping back into the field, to get into sales, to overcome that identity. And I'm noticing the people that are doing that are the ones that are building more momentum, more opportunity, and still really holding intact the principles and values that they started off with.
Yeah, identity is important. Like who you again, it's who you become that is
Mm-hmm.
truly going to attract everything that you want. So becoming a better you is very, very important. And that comes back to who do you see yourself as, the self-image part, right? And I see myself as a great leader. And that's why, the affirmations matter as well. I see myself as a person who, easily and effortlessly achieves the goals. And so you choose the beingness, which is the identity that you talked about. So who do you choose to be matters. It's be, do, have, not have, do, then become the person that you want. Doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, not at all, brother. Not at all. So let's shift a little bit into like team leadership, right? So you have a multitude of teams in your organization.
Yeah.
What are some commonalities that you're seeing about teams that are continuing to grow in sales and in numbers? What are you seeing out there as it relates to like market trends?
What I'm seeing right now, the agents that are in the team leaders that are in our organization who are thriving
Mm-hmm.
is that they're super intentional. They're on the ball about shifting. They're on the ball about pivoting. They're on the ball and they're leading by example, right? They're in production. Most of them are still in production themselves. And so they're leading by example, leading their team members to take the actions necessary in order to move forward. Right? You can't take your eye off the ball. If you take your eye off the ball, you think it's all handled, you got something coming for you. Right? But I'm not saying worry about it. I'm saying take action on it. So they're taking action, training their team. They're taking action, improving their systems. They're taking action, going out there and selling as many homes as possible. And those that do that succeed at a high level. Guys, it's just work.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love that. Actionable leadership is the term that comes to mind where you don't, you're not just functioning on title, right? You're functioning on the influence of actionability toward others. So good. I love that for the team leaders.
There's a question I see here, I don't know, from
Let's go.
GH. Real talk. How do you deal with disappointment when people on your team don't follow through? Oof. That's exactly what I talked about, GH, is that you can't have imaginary agreements with the people, right? And then you're holding them to account to an imaginary agreement that you have with them.
Mm.
So I always say that, hey, Joe, you said that your goal this year was to sell 20 homes. And based on the 20 homes that you want to sell, we gave you an action plan and we broke it down to a daily basis what you need to do. And I'm not seeing you checking in, and I'm not seeing you talking to the people that you want to talk to. So let me ask you a question. Is 20 homes still your goal? And is that still important to you? And how important is that to you? I'm not disappointed with those people because I know I'm holding them to account to what they want. I can't be disappointed. I'm not going to say, you know what, you should do this because our team's goal is this. No, no, no. You should do this because that's your goal. I'm not disappointed. I can't be more disappointed than you in not hitting your goals than you are disappointed in yourself. I'm only here to help you achieve your goals. And if we don't have an agreement that you want me to hold you accountable, I can't hold you account to that, right? So I hope that helps. And again, disappointment is about setting expectations. So I only have expectations based on their goals. But their goals, not so much. So I always say this, guys. I'm not gonna let people go on my team if they're not doing deals. That's not how I let go of someone. But I do have a problem when you say, here are my goals and here are my actions. And here's what I'm gonna do to get here. And they never show up to this part here, which is taking actions and showing up on calls. Then I'm like, hey, you're not hitting your goals and you're not showing up. I'm not disappointed in you because I can't be more disappointed than you are about your own goals. But we do need to talk about why you're not showing up right here. If you keep taking actions and you keep showing up, but you're not doing deals, I know eventually you will do deals because you're taking the actions. I hope that makes sense and it helps. GH just kept rambling on, but that's how I truly feel about the disappointment with when people don't follow through.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for clarifying that with GH. Thank you guys for tuning in and tapping into questions here in the chat. I know we're getting to the top of the hour here, John. I would love to just give you a few minutes, man, just to give us some closing remarks, anything that you have in your heart and your mind that you'd like to share with our community, brother.
Yeah, I think, just keep taking actions, guys. And this too shall pass. And if you are up, don't get too high on yourself. And if you're low, don't get too low on yourself. This too shall pass. When it's good, don't get too high. When it's low, don't get too low. Just stay right here. Stay right here. Right. And the good news is, you know what the good news is, guys? If you're still in business here in 2025 and you didn't quit, you have to pat yourself on the back. Okay. Encourage yourself a little bit. You know what? I didn't quit. 449,000 people quit last year, and I didn't. Right. And if you're part of the 21% that actually did a deal last year, pat yourself on the back again. Love on yourself. Right. Self-love. Right. Guys, I'm standing here before you guys because I persisted and I just never quit. If you never quit, again, you will never fail. And I wish you all a phenomenal rest of 2025, guys. I gave you 5 points on how to crush 2025. Follow those. Reach out to me. If I can hold you accountable, if I can contribute to you, I'm here to help. Joe, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's always a pleasure seeing you, brother.
Likewise, my brother. Likewise, John. Thank you for, again, just sharing all these points, the savers, the 5 nuggets that you dropped, all the insights today. You're just, again, like the epitome of what leadership looks like, brother, in the game, in life. I love how you lead your family first and foremost, and also just everything that you're doing here, building people, creating culture, all the social media, multiplying impact, bro. That's how I view you as a leader. Tremendous respect for you, my brother. Looking forward to jumping on stage with you again at some of these upcoming EXP cons and builds. But to everybody that tuned in, remember this, the strategies that John shared, how you can implement these, like take those strategies from this call and put them into massive action. So that way, not only do you get to determine the size of your success, but you also really get to truly mark and evaluate that as you press forward in your business. So thank you again, John, for being with us this day. Let's go out. Let's lead with vision, leadership, courage, and purpose. God bless you guys. You guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you at the next masterclass. Same time, same channel next week, 10 a.m. sharp. Let's go.
Let's go.